it's Bree, and I have a story for you. Now, before we even go ahead and get into this story, I feel like there's a few thank yous that I would like to give, because I was watching my old videos and it's really been a while since I have shown appreciation. First, I want to go ahead and thank my homegirl Marine Maldonado, okay, because she bought me this jumpsuit, okay. She bought me, actually it's a bodysuit. Marine, shout out to you, bitch, okay. I love you, I appreciate you, and like, thank you for supporting me the way you do. The second person I want to go ahead and give thanks to are my fucking subscribers. Like, honestly, I feel like I haven't been able to say thank you to you guys for supporting me, because you don't have to support me, and I feel like I haven't taken the time to say thank you because my channel has been growing so fast. Like, it didn't make sense to me to go, thank you for 14,000 subscribers, and then 2 days later I was at 16,000. You get what I'm saying? But I definitely want to take the time to, like, in the beginning of this video, say thank you for 17,000 subscribers. You guys don't have to like me. Thank you for following me on Instagram. Thank you for following me on Twitter. Thank you for connecting with me, for being myself. It means the world to me. I really do feel like I'm growing with you guys, and that's why I continue to push my content, and that's why I feel like shit when I don't upload consistently. The third thank you that I would like to give is to Soulfeel Jewelry. They reached out to me and sent me a necklace, and it actually kind of inspired this story time, because if you guys look at the necklace, I'm zooming in, okay, and I know my camera is quality, so don't try to play me. I actually decided to get my last name, so that's why my Instagram and my Twitter is like Vie avec Lay, because like that's my last name and it means life with Lay in French. I've always wanted a necklace with my name on it. Now, quick disclaimer, they were actually nice enough to send me a 2-set necklace. So I broke it because I went a little too hard on my birthday, but I will post a picture showing you guys what it should look like and what it does come like. And I think it's really cool that they're offering affordable necklaces that can come like as a duo set. I've been wearing this necklace every single day since I got it, and it has not tarnished. It has not turned gray in any area. Like, if this was from Forever 21, it would already be turning. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put that information in the description box below, because they were really sweet and they were really kind. They were very communicative with me, and I know that they're gonna extend that customer service onto you bitches, because y'all represent me, and if they are mean to you, then they were mean to me, because we family and I got you. I'm talking too much. Let's get into this story, okay? So today I'm gonna tell you about the time my friend got possessed, and this is another true story. I mean, that's what we do here. I tell y'all real life shit, because my life is a real life mess. Basically, this story was right after I graduated high school, and I was still hanging out with my best friends from high school. Like, when I graduated high school, I actually still had friends. Like, people still actually wanted to hang out with me and do stuff. Like, I had a social life. I was still kicking with my best friend. Let's call her Ruby. I used to kick it with my best friend religiously. Like, that girl was like my sister. Ruby and Q were both my best friends at the same time. And like, the more stories I share on my channel, it's actually really sad how I lost my best friends. Like, I lost them both in really weird ways, and you couldn't have told me nothing. Like, I thought I was gonna be best friends with these girls for the rest of my life. I've shared a decent amount of stories so far about Q, to where you guys know that like she has lived a peculiar life. I guess this is kind of like another story time with this bitch. Q would do this thing where she would like go missing. Like, we would be having a good friendship and then she would just like disappear. Q, Ruby, and myself, we were like this. Like, we were literally like the cheetah girls, because we were definitely not as powerful as Destiny's Child. During this time, Q had gone missing for a while. At the time, we didn't know where she was. We did not see Q for like a solid 3 months. And then Q comes back from wherever she was, and she reaches out to me. When she reached out to me, I was the one who initiated all 3 of us hanging out, because I feel like Ruby, like, at that point, after 3 months, her feelings were kind of hurt. So I'm definitely the one that was like, had to present to Ruby like, oh, we're gonna hang out with Q today. After 3 months of not hearing or seeing this bitch, we're gonna hang out with her. I don't even know if Ruby knew that I was back in connection with Q, because I kind of figured like if Q is talking to me, she's automatically talking to you. And I didn't really know how mad Ruby was at Q. Ruby came over my house, regular schmegular day. Okay, I'm gonna get ready. We're gonna get on public transportation. We're gonna go hang out with somebody that we went to high school with and smoke weed all day. Like, that's what we did. Like, we hung out to smoke weed and trip out all day. It wasn't until we got off the train and I presented to Ruby that Q was coming that she started to act weird. And it started off like this. I would be like, Ruby, let's go to the gas station so I can get something to drink. I have cotton mouth. And she would be like, no. No. And I'd be like, Ruby. 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 Like, I would say her name 6 times in a row. It was like she couldn't even hear me. Now, the thing about Ruby is that, like, the high school that I went to was a performing arts high school. So all my friends are like over the top. All my friends are dramatic. All my friends have strong, distinct personalities. Like, those are the kind of people I hang out with. I hang out with creatives. Ruby was like the definition of like a thespian. If you don't know what that is, that's like an actor. If you guys have ever hung out with a kid who wants to be an actor, they are some of the most annoying human beings. You never know which version of them you're getting. They're always practicing their characters on you if you're a loved one in their life. And it's annoying. Do that shit with other people. Practice your characters on strangers. I need one consistent personality. I need to know who I'm getting every single day. And Ruby was the definition of an annoying thespian kid. Q arrives at the destination. And at this point, I was virtually ignoring Ruby because every time I tried to spark up a conversation, have a conversation with her, she was acting like she could not hear me. And she was acting like she was chasing something. Like, she was acting like there was something that like she was looking at or she was like following. Initially, it did not dawn on me that like I should care because of how she already acted on the regular. When Q shows up, we kind of like, you know, oh, hi, and I'm trying to be the host. I'm trying to make sure that Ruby is cordial with Q. We still don't know where Q was, but we want to be cordial to where we can find out. It was like Ruby was going in and out. Like, when I said Q was coming up the escalator, she paid attention to that. But by the time you could kind of see Q like coming into the sunlight from the subway, Ruby was back into her own world. I'm looking at Q and I'm looking at Ruby and I'm just like, how am I gonna explain this? I was just like, oh yeah, Ruby's here. Like, I definitely tried to like downplay it or play it off because I didn't really know what was going on with Ruby as well. We walked from the train station to our friend's house, and let's call our friend Africa. So we went to our friend Africa's brother's house. We walk to the block and we see Africa, her brother, and his friend walking up the street because they went to the store themselves. So we all meet up on the corner and Ruby snaps back into herself, and me being a Capricorn, I'm very grateful because I'm like, don't make me look crazy. Don't make me look bad. She's like, hey to all three of them. And then she's acting normal for about 5 minutes until we get into the apartment. This girl is full blown talking to herself. Full blown laughing out loud. In the moment, knowing this girl, there was nothing to concern me. But as the night progressed, it got to the point, everybody in the room was kind of like concerned for her. So I had to get up and take her outside, and we were out in the hallway and I was just talking to her and I'm like, girl, like, you low-key scaring me. And then Africa's brother comes outside. Africa's brother was like, Ruby, are you seeing anything? And she's like, yeah, I'm seeing a guy down the hall right now. Who do you think I've been talking to this whole time? Like, are you guys stupid? Like, when she was like functioning and in her mind, that bitch was in her mind. Like, she was saying some stuff that was like, huh? Every building in Koreatown has like a fire escape. The people on that floor will leave the window to the fire escape wide open. And she starts asking Africa's brother, like, has somebody ever jumped out of the balcony? So when she says that, I instantly turn to Africa's brother because I'm looking at him like, do you hear this, bitch? And he was fixated on Ruby. And when I saw his face, it instantly made me like, I was taken aback because I was like, I feel like I should really be concerned at this moment because he looked concerned at that moment. I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I feel like I need to get Q. And right when I kind of start like, okay, Africa's brother tells Ruby, my roommate killed herself last month. It instantly got way too heavy for me because I'm like, so did Ruby just see him down the hall? Is that who she was talking to? The first thing Africa's brother said was like, don't talk to her. I feel like she's really having a moment. And I've seen my friend do this before. And the friend that he was referring to was a friend who jumped off the balcony, y'all. I was the one who made the executive decision to call her annoying ass dad and tell him like, hey, like, Ruby is experiencing something that we've never seen her gone through. Like, can you come pick her up? Ruby's dad came like 20 minutes later and he called me and he was just like, he was yelling at me like as if I put Ruby in danger. And he's like, bring her downstairs right now. Like, I'm here right now. And we bring her downstairs and it was weird. It was like she snapped back into herself. She's like, hey dad, what are you doing here? Like, why would you come so early? I didn't even call you. Like, what are you doing here? Everything about her energy completely changed. And at that point, I have to admit, I was scared. I wasn't concerned. I wasn't worried. I was scared of the bitch. Like, I was scared because I'm like, has she taken on a role that she's not gonna, like, I really didn't know what to think about my best friend. This girl was my best friend. I'm talking like I didn't care about her. But you guys gotta understand, it's because like I knew her. But when she got in that car with her father, I didn't know who got in that car. After that day, I was desperate to get in contact with Ruby because I'm like, did you do that because Q was there? Because in my mind, you were acting completely normal until Q came. So were you trying to like, I don't know, like I thought it was some kind of revenge against Q. I really honestly thought that that's the response that I was gonna get. So after 3 days of not hearing from Ruby, calling her house phone, I'm telling you, like, I was blowing this girl up because I just had a friend disappear on me. I was not about to lose another one. So after 3 days, I don't hear from Ruby herself. I get a phone call from her dad. He ended up calling the house phone and talking to my auntie. When he was accusing me of all these things, my auntie's like, hold up. I've seen your daughter over here acting like she was out of her mind as well. And so he basically goes like, I just wanted you to know about your niece. You know what he ended up telling my auntie during that phone call? That basically Ruby tried to commit suicide. Like, when she went home that evening, her parents were like so concerned. They were so worried. She was acting so weird, so out of it. And it got to the point where like she had a knife and she tried to like rip her stomach open. That was what was communicated to my auntie by Ruby's father. She was held under like a psychiatric evaluation for 3 days. She was under a 72-hour hold, okay? And he basically was trying to put blame to somebody because, like I said, everybody knew that Ruby was this actress, this girl that was out there and she was willing to do the most for attention. But this was just on some other shit. She tried to physically harm herself. Like, she literally tried to cut herself open. And when my auntie told me that, she told me that from a place of anger. Like a place like, can you believe this man is blaming you? But the fact that I was with that girl that day, I didn't even care anymore that I was being blamed. I was genuinely concerned about my friend. And one of the things that like Ruby's dad told me, and he told my auntie, was that I'm a terrible person, I'm a terrible friend, I obviously gave her something, and I'm an even worse friend because I didn't check up on her. When in real life, I was calling every single day, and I know her parents saw my number. Maybe like 6 months go by. Half a year goes by before I hear from my friend again. Ruby reached out to me on Facebook and was like, let's hang out, let's kick it. And I instantly pounced on it because I missed that friendship. And, you know, at this point, Q was like, she was on her drugs and she was turning into a different person herself. You know, so I kind of wanted Ruby back because I felt like that would bring Q back. I hung out with Ruby for the first time. And it was just me and Ruby. And she basically told me her side of the story. She told me how like she didn't see it as she was trying to kill herself. She was just doing what they were telling her to do. She was just doing what the voices told her to do. And she told me that like by the time she got home that night with her parents, the voices were too loud. And she had to submit to them. That's how that's literally what came out of her mouth. She was like, I had to submit to them. I had to do what they told me to do. And she was saying that like her parents were yelling at her, but she couldn't hear her parents. Just like she couldn't hear me. When she actually tells me that she had to submit to voices to attempt to harm herself, I'm like asking her questions back. I'm like, so when you said that you were seeing angels and you were seeing devils, were you actually seeing them? Who did you see down the hall in Africa's brother's apartment? Like, I'm asking her more and more in-depth questions, and I'm not really getting a real answer. And I start to feel a little skeptical because I'm like, so did you have a mental breakdown? Because it kind of sounded like she was having a schizophrenic break. If she had a schizophrenic break or if she was possessed, both of those were like traumatizing and concerning to me because I was already losing Q. And to be there and to see the decline of my other friend with my own eyes, that was like, man. So I was asking her so many questions and she was like, I don't know why you're asking me because when I was in the hospital, you wasn't even concerned. You didn't even call. You didn't even. And I'm like, girl, I didn't even know you were in the hospital. Was my friend possessed or did she have a schizophrenic break? Because when I was talking to her, she was saying that like, that's basically what they described to her parents. Not that she was seeing angels, not that she was seeing demons, but that she had some kind of like schizophrenic break. Even if you've seen The Exorcist, they tried to make it seem like, oh, she could be schizophrenic. She could be this. They tried to diagnose it, even in that fictional based movie. And I'm spiritual. So it's like, I could believe that my friend was possessed. And I was with my friend that day. And it was literally like the whole world was muted to her. It just became clear to me that my friend was gone. Because after that conversation, I would try to hang out with her just like how we used to hang out. Like all the time. But her behavior was just so... It was so disturbing. And it wasn't like she was violent. It was just like, it was scary. It was like, where are you? Where's my friend? Where is she? So it went from once a week to once a month to once a year. My most recent memory of Ruby was 3 years ago. That's the last time I saw Ruby. I would see her. I wouldn't really want to talk to her. I had accepted the fact that like she wasn't the same person, that she was gone. And I treated her like a stranger because she was a stranger. She was gone. She had a problem. And whatever was wrong with her, the weed intensified it. She would be kind of semi-normal. She would be saying like really weird stuff. To see her become paranoid. To see her start scratching at windows. To see her hyperventilating. To see her blurting out things that just was like, we need to take you home. That's honestly why I haven't seen Ruby in 3 years, because it wasn't funny to me and it wasn't anything that I wanted to be around or condone. And it was actually really sad to me that I lost a friend to whatever I lost her to. Whether it was actual demons that got grip of my homegirl or if she had a schizophrenic break. Because those two, you know, they're kind of hard to tell. It's kind of like, even if you watch movies about possession, it's hard to tell the difference between someone who would have had a schizophrenic break and someone who is being tortured and possessed by spirits. To see who my friend became, honestly, that's the story how my friend was possessed. It was random. It didn't make sense. And I tried to make sense out of a situation that doesn't make sense. If you guys like this video, go ahead and turn that thumbs up. Blue, support your girl. Get those fingers moving and let me know which side of the fence you guys are leaning towards. Do you think that my friend was actually possessed? Or based off what I told you, seeing her years later, do you think that maybe she had some kind of schizophrenic break? I mean, being there the day it happened and seeing her years later, I could honestly see some spirits messing with that girl's head. I guess you just have to be a spiritual person to even consider the idea of possession. But I definitely want to know what you guys think. I lost my friend, and not even that. I lost like a sister, like somebody who I have, man, I have so many memories with that girl, and to lose her the way I did in a way that didn't even make sense. Anyways, you guys are my friends now, and it really feels good to tell you guys these stories and to heal from them and to just give you guys a little bit of a more insight into how I am who I am today. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.